Based on balls. The decade of the 1990s, who were the top 5 baseball players to make the list? I have the answers in a book I wrote. Yearly leaders of every batting category. Ken Arzon talking baseball on Monday, June 15th, 2026. How about the 1990s? Top 5. Walks. Mark McGwire, 110. Mickey Tettleton, 106. Jack Clark, 4th time for him, making the top 5. 104. Tony Phillips, 99. Rickey Henderson, 97. Now, Rickey Henderson's significant. 9 times, top 5. Rickey Henderson. 1991, Frank Thomas, 138. Brett Butler, 108. Barry Bonds, first time for him, 107. Fred McGriff, 105. Mickey Tettleton, 101. So the 1990s, we get the first time for Barry Bonds making the top 5. And you know what? I looked it up. Barry Bonds, base on balls, walks. He made the top 5 for a year 15 times in his career. That is the most. He beat Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth had 14 times. Ted Williams, 12. Barry Bonds, one of the most feared baseball players of all time by pitchers. And he got intentionally walked 200 times in his career. So 1992, Barry Bonds, 127. Did you know that Barry Bonds in his career, I'll look it up. I didn't know this, but if you look close at his stats, Barry Bonds, I've got it right here. As far as walks, based on balls, 2,558 walks in a 22-year career. Intentionally walked. All right, I have that stat right here. Pardon me. I said 200 times he got intentionally walked. I was wrong. 688 intentional walks in his career, Barry Bonds. A record that will never be broken. 1992, 127. Frank Thomas, 122. Mickey Tettleton, 122. Tony Phillips, 114. Randy Milligan, 106. 1993. Tony Phillips, 132. Lenny Dykstra, 129. Barry Bonds, 126. Rickey Henderson, 120. Darren Daulton, 117. Top 5. 1994. Players went on strike in August, remember? Frank Thomas, 109. Frank Thomas, how many times did he make the top 5? Frank Thomas. I'm looking it up. 5 times. Top 5. 109. Mickey Tettleton, 97. Tony Phillips, 95. Barry Bonds, 74. Paul O'Neill, 72. 1995. Frank Thomas, 136. Barry Bonds, 120. Edgar Martinez, 116. Tony Phillips, 113. Mickey Tettleton, 107. Mickey Tettleton's got a few here. 1996, Barry Bonds, 151. Gary Sheffield, 142. Jeff Bagwell, 135. Tony Phillips again, 125. Rickey Henderson, 125. 1997, Barry Bonds, 145. Jeff Bagwell, 127. Gary Sheffield, 121. Jim Thome, 120. Jay Buhner, 119. 1998, Mark McGwire, 162. That's the year he hit 70 homers. Barry Bonds, 130. Rickey Henderson, 118. Frank Thomas, 110. Jeff Bagwell, 109. Bagwell's got a few. 1999, Jeff Bagwell, 149. Mark McGuire, 133. Jim Thome, 127. Chipper Jones, 126. John Olerud, 125. So that's the 1990s. Who dominated? Barry Bonds. I'll look it up here. Barry Bonds in the 90s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times out of 10 years. Made the top 5 in walks. Frank Thomas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Top 5. How about Tony Phillips? 6 times. Top 5. Good eye at the plate. Jim Thome, 2 times. All right, give the 1990s to Barry Bonds. How about that stat? 2,558 walks. He played 2,986 games. He almost averaged a walk per game played in 22 years. And 688 intentional walks. What? Let's compare that with Babe Ruth, because Babe Ruth's number 2. Barry Bonds made the top 5 15 times. Babe Ruth 14 times. But how many intentional walks did Babe Ruth get? I don't know if the pitchers did that. They were more rough in those days. Intentional walks. You know what? For Babe Ruth, they didn't even keep track of it from 1914 through 1923. But then they started doing it. Babe Ruth intentionally walked 79 times. See, they didn't keep the stat that much. And I think the pitchers were tougher and rougher, and they said, hey, I'm going to pitch to the Bambino. I don't care. Where in the Barry Bonds era, pitchers are really cowards. Wouldn't you agree? 688 career intentional walks. Are you that afraid of him, pitchers? Sheesh. How about Ted Williams? Ted Williams had 10 top 5 finishes. How many times did he get intentionally walked? Well, they kept track. 258 times. I think that's number 2 all time. Intentionally walked. Barry Bonds holds the record. The most in one season for Ted Williams was 33 times they walked him intentionally. Babe Ruth, the most, was only 21 times. You want to hear another stat? This is crazy. In one season, Barry Bonds was intentionally walked 120 times. Ridiculous. Pitchers, you are cowardly. Pitch to Barry Bonds. All right, I'm done with the 1990s. Give it to Barry Bonds. 8 out of 10 years. Top 5. All right, next video. 2000 through 2009. I'm out.